Okay, it's this month's folder. Time to put them in the folders video. I'm a bit more organised this week or this month, and so I thought I'd put them into various categories, if you like. I don't know what this category is. It's kind of the same as this one. So these are just like, I can see the face pretty quickly, and I just want to stop. There's no, as you can see, there's no rhyme or reason other than the fact that I feel I've caught the essence of that person. So I'll stop for that reason. And the cat's looking out the window, by the way. That's what you can hear. And they're all. I suppose this is a particular category that enough is enough. It's that kind of thing. I talk about enoughism and to stop when you've done enough. These are the starts that I always show people. I show students that starts can be, you can capture the essence of somebody very quickly. You've probably seen those in the previous videos. I don't know whether or not I put those in the folders, but the others, I'm not going to try and keep this too short. I'll put this as a video. I'll do a separate one for reel and things and a different aspect. But yeah, these are the usual, the ones that are more finished. These are the more recent ones you'll have seen. All the ones over the last few weeks, the spooky ones that I did last Thursday, 31st of October, and Scary Mary was what we call that one. No, she wasn't our horror image. And all of these, basically this probably could fall into that category, because of the finish. What I particularly like about this is the sort of nose area, and there's not a lot of precise drawing in it, and yet it still works. I love all that. If you can get that feeling without the drudgery of actually blending and all the rest of it, it's the implication suggestion thing. I think that's what we're talking about. Some are more finished, as you can see. These are more finished ones. There's 91 drawings, so and that's not including the few watercolours that I did. So which I quite liked, and I've just done a couple of oils. There's another scary one from last Thursday, which is the Wolfman. Oh, yeah, Wolfman, not a werewolf. It's not, for me, it was not the same. It had to be a Wolfman. And then, yeah, going through things that are much more finished. There's another sort of fat Dracula. Sorry, but he is. And yeah, these are much more finished. There are loads of these, and it's difficult to say, as one over another. I prefer one over another. I like to look back on the drawings and just think about the things that I particularly. I mean, this one is probably not one of my favourites because it's too finished, because it's too familiar to what you see. In terms of the drawing of it, you see this all the time, this kind of thing. But I like it. I like this kind of thing more. I can still see the marks in it. I can still see the life in it. It's almost like it's a snapshot because it's so immediate and responsive. All those that's why these are so attractive, because they're immediate and responsive. The ones that start to look laboured, it's never a good thing. The more you labour over something, the more you lose the life in it. So, for me, that's generally the rule. So I tend not to try to overwork them. If it's taking hours instead of, if it takes more than 90 minutes or even 2 hours, then it's getting, I'm going to lose it. But this kind of thing, when it's, I could have spent hours on this, but why? You can still see that it's an intricate, sort of elaborate collar on a jacket. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I don't want to be, focusing on the things that don't matter. Yeah, I mean, some of them are very, as I said, very finished. I like the light in some of these things as well, without the use of white crayon or white chalk or whatever. Never like it in that I see that. It's just, you see how that's the light in that. And I think that's just understanding the tonal balance of everything. I don't think it's about we're going to put some white back in afterwards. I always think they look a bit the same as that one. You see, I always think when you put white back in, it always looks a bit amateurish. I know. I'm sorry. I'm afraid but it does. You gotta understand where your highlights are and to see that. But it's part of the response thing. It's all that. It's not a mechanical thing. Look how light that is. There's real light on a face. But no, there's no white chalk or anything. But everything balances. This is the thing about tones. You got to understand. You put white into that, and suddenly you've got an imbalance, almost like a synthetic highlight, unnatural. And I don't like that. Again, more light into these things, and more light into this one. But like I say, there's 90 odd of these. There's 90. Just sort of jumping through. I don't want to. I thought I'd sort of pick out some favourites and think, I'll just show that one and whatever. But there's too many. I like loads of. So, which is good. It's the reason why I do it, because it's and then why they get this far. Because if I didn't like them, they probably wouldn't get past that stage. But they look better in real life. That's what I would say. The images I take to put on social medias aren't that great. It loses all the mid-tones. This will probably be better than the video. Will probably be better than the still for these images, because they look much more fuller. It's like there's more tone into that one, for instance. There's more tone in it and things. But then again, I look at this and I like all it's trying to focus. I like all the marks that are in it, and it's just, as I said, I like looking back on the drawings that I've done. It's just a great way to. I can't remember doing them. And one of the things I do notice is I've just done a painting this morning, and I can remember doing it now, but when I look back on it, I won't remember. Like I did the four little ones. There's another little one this morning, but the four little ones that I did on last week, the square ones, all the same theme, all the same type of woman, and I can barely remember doing them now, and that's a good thing. I like the idea that Robert Enright said that we should have zero skills every time. It's like I don't want to recall the skills it took to make these. I just want to recall or look at it and think of it, for the things I like about it. Some of the things that I wouldn't have considered at the time as well. When I look back on some of these things, and not that probably could fall into that category, because it's one of those. I don't want to go any further, kind of caught it. But it's the reason why I put them away and don't have any around. I do have oils around, and that's just a problem. But I put them away because I don't want to keep doing the same thing over again. Get a particular way of handling the charcoal or the shadows or whatever. Again, another reason why I'm not really into methods and processes, because I think that all that is a I don't know. It becomes a habit, and you're less present when you're relying on these things that are like crutches. So you just want to be doing it and responding to it. And inevitably, you gather skills, but that's not this premeditation thing and planning, and everything that requires planning is for me anti-drawing. It's all craft. It's not. I suppose drawing is craft, but you know what I mean. It's anti-art, I suppose. That's the consideration, the preparation, the construction, and all that sort of thing. At what point does it become art? And so for me, that the responsive thing is the key to everything. To respond, and to harness the skills that you probably acquired as a consequence of that response, as opposed to practicing 1,000 times in a sketchbook. But yeah, so 91 to go in today.